Hi, I'm Craig Bennett with the Craig Bennett Group at My Home Group Real Estate.
And I'm Brandon Bielkowski with the Brava team at Bison Ventures.
And today we're in beautiful, very warm, Old Town Scottsdale, one of my favorite neighborhoods, to talk about our June market update.
Let's go have a chat.
Let's do it.
All right, so I know affordability is going to be a large topic of discussion over the next few months. I know with mortgage rates increasing, that's the biggest news in the media. For instance, an increase in 1% on a $400,000 loan ends up being a difference of about $250 a month, which can be astronomical from a qualification standpoint.
Right.
On the real estate side, what are you kind of seeing in regards to affordability?
So yeah, Brandon, definitely we're seeing some issues with regards to affordability and in certain price points, definitely over the 400,000 range. I think that's where we're seeing a lot of it. We're seeing some price reductions where sellers may be right-sizing their pricing to kind of compensate for the interest rate hike that's happened. Mm-hmm. How about you on the lending side? What are you seeing with regards to affordability?
So we're actually seeing an increase in adjustable rate mortgages, which I know scares a lot of people, but if you look at it from a few different lenses, one is obviously how long these clients plan on being in the home.
Right.
If the time that you're locked into that lower interest rate up front is longer than the time that you're planning on being in the home, it totally makes sense. It makes sense for people in that regard, as well as the possibility of an impending recession. Generally speaking, rates do go down towards the end of a recession. So that's always something that we keep in the back of our mind as we're looking at different products in this environment.
Yeah, I think people's ideas around an adjustable rate mortgage may kind of have reflections back to the 2005, 2008, beginning of that recession, which was, based on mortgages. Mm-hmm. But that's a different type of mortgage, right? I mean, we're talking about an adjustable rate mortgage that is you're qualified on the actual beginning rate, right?
Yes.
So you want to maybe explain that a little bit?
Yeah,
I think
so
confuses.
There's a few different parameters that go into it. Obviously, the lending standards are much tighter than they were in the 08 recession. What goes into the qualification on an adjustable rate mortgage is a lot different than it was previously. So if you're looking at something at 5.1, which is a 5-year lock term and under, you're qualifying on a rate plus generally 2%. So the qualification standards go up astronomically as we're looking at these adjustable rate mortgages, as to why it's not going to necessarily be a huge issue as it was in 2008.
Right. The borrower is actually qualifying on a higher rate, even though his start rate may be lower on the interest going in.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think that's a great way to compensate for this market with rising interest rates. And adjustable rate mortgage makes sense for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
So there's a lot of talk of increased inventory. How is that impacting you as an agent, and how are you navigating this new environment? So
definitely we are seeing a rise in inventory. That's one of the what's happening in this market. We have rising interest rates. We're also having rising inventory of single family homes and all real estate actually. So just as an example, of June 5th, we had around a little over 13,000 homes on the market. Compared to May 5th, we had around 10,000 homes on the market in the greater metro area. So definitely we're seeing a rise in inventory. How we're navigating that is, one of the aspects with my own clients. I'll give you a real life example, which happened a couple weeks ago. We had have a buyer in town looking at homes around in the $600,000 price range. Found a home in the valley that was listed around $615,000, and a month ago we would have been competing with multiple offers. Would have had to waive some contingencies or put some really strict timelines on our contingencies, like home inspection, appraisal, that type of thing. So how I'm navigating right now is I'm really working closely with the listing agent when I'm representing a buyer to kind of see what the activity is on the home. Are they experiencing multiple offers? Are they not? In this case, we came in at full ask. We didn't go over ask. We didn't waive anything on our offer. Wrote a very clean offer. Compared to a month ago, we may have had 4, 5, 6 offers on that house. This time we had one offer on it, one additional offer. So I was competing with one other offer. My clients were very approved. We had a great pre-qual from a reputable, good lender. We were able to jump in with that strong offer and not go into a multiple counteroffer situation. So my clients actually got the home within a day of negotiating, first weekend on the market. So that's kind of what I'm seeing a lot of people. Now, definitely we're seeing some price points in some parts of the valley, multiple offers are still in place, waiving appraisals, waiving contingencies. You mentioned to me earlier today that you're seeing that on your applications coming in.
Absolutely. So just touching on what you're talking about, it's important because the market is changing so quickly. Anybody can jump into real estate and list the home and it will go over asking 6 months ago. Now, this is where I think you're going to see a lot of pushback just based on the demand, and as we were talking about the affordability issue that's coming into play. The experienced agent is going to thrive in this environment, which previously over the last 6 months or so, many agents could survive off of just a listing because they're going to get a multiple offer scenario. So I think it's ultra important right now to have an experienced agent on your side, such as yourself, to kind of navigate through the ever-changing market, because it is rapidly changing right now.
It's rapidly. I mean, what happened a week ago is very different than this week, right? I'm seeing that on a current listing where we're navigating it, really week by week. What's happening in their market, keeping the seller updated on what's going on with the market. You're not getting as many showings on the home as you might have previously because there's more inventory. Also, rates have created an affordability issue.
Yep.
So we're it's back to really marketing the home, keeping the seller updated on what's going on, follow through with all the showings, making sure that you're answering all the buyer's agent's questions, getting them all the information they need so their buyer can make an informed decision and hopefully write an offer on the house. It's a very different market than it was even a month and a half ago.
Yeah, and I think that's the same thing on our end. Like, communication is the biggest thing for us. So if we're not communicating what's going on in the rate environment to our buyers, our potential buyers, buyers that are shopping, because everything is changing so quickly on our end as well, that buyer that you could be out showing may not qualify anymore if we don't let you know. So that's something that we're doing proactively now, is we're combing through current buyers searching for property to ensure that their qualification is solid, as well as they know exactly what's going on in the rate environment.
Exactly. Yep. And we're doing the same with all of our people who we've been talking to about selling their home, potential sellers that past clients, people I know who've expressed interest in selling. The conversation we're having today may be very different in a couple weeks, and so it's very important that everybody knows that we're not in that market that we were in just a few months ago or a few weeks ago even. And as we move further in the summer, we really don't know what's going to happen, right? So it's just really keeping updated on all the market, reviewing the stats, paying attention to what's going on, conveying that information to the people who've expressed interest in selling. Because if you wait, we don't know what the market's going to be like. I can only talk about what the market is today.
Absolutely.
Because we're rapidly changing. So, all that being said, we kind of gave a very high level market update today, kind of what's going on generally in the real estate with regards to affordability, listing activity in the area, what's going on. Definitely, if you want more detailed information, statistics, that type of thing, feel free to reach out to me or Brandon. We'd be more than happy to supply you with any of that information. And we look forward to getting with you next month.